All right, so today I'm going to be installing these Vortex Clip-Ons onto a 2005 Yamaha R6. So the first step in the removal process is to remove the bar end sliders. You remove those with an 8mm Allen wrench, hex head. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and remove the headlight, turn signal, and horn. Electronics mount goes on here. It's just going to be two Phillips heads, one right there and another there. Now that you have those two bolts removed, you can just go ahead and remove this entire instrument. Next on the list is the clutch. I'm just going to be an 8mm. Just go ahead and loosen this bolt. All right, so the next thing that I'm doing is I'm removing these grips, and what I'm doing for that is I'm sticking a small flathead down, and I'm trying to get it as far in as I can into the grip, and then I'm taking WD-40 and pushing it in along with the screwdriver and just spraying it in there just so I can get all this stuff loosened up in here. I'm also repeating that process in the top and bottom of both sides just to get as much lube as I can in here to help really get it loosened up. Okay, so finally got this grip off, and that was honestly quite a process. I actually ended up accidentally cutting a hole in it, so just be careful. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take off the clutch cable. All right, so to get this clutch cable off, I just went ahead and turned this adjuster all the way in. And what I made sure to do is make sure to have everything in line so that you can just pull on this clutch cable and take it right out right there. All right, got the clutch cable out. So what I'm now gonna do on this side is I'm gonna get this clamp loosened up for the stock handlebars. That's just gonna be loosening this bolt right here. There's actually a bolt there. There's a tiny little plastic cover that goes right over the hex head. You're just gonna need to use a pick or a screwdriver to get that out. Loosen this bolt right here. I'm gonna loosen this bolt. It's a 6mm. Go ahead and loosen it. And this top one here, 5mm. Start loosening it. Pull this entire bolt out. Leave it there. Now, there we go. The stock handlebars, or at least one of them, is removed. Now onto the next side. It's going to be the same process with this grip. Well, it should be similar at least. Same process with this instrument electronics cluster, and we'll get to the brake in a second. Okay, so this one was much easier. Took a lot less WD-40 and prying. It just came right out. Didn't even break this one. Same process with this screw right here, right there, there it is. And then with that one right there on the back side. So for the side with the kill switch, this shorter bolt's gonna be the one to the front of the bike, and this longer bolt's gonna be the one towards the back of the bike. But on the other side, those two were exactly the same. Okay, so what my plan of attack for this is I am gonna leave this on, and I'm gonna loosen and take off this handlebar, and then be able to slide it out from there. But let's go ahead and see what we can do with the brake lever. Just 2 5mm. Go ahead and loosen them up. Once you get these off, this whole assembly just sort of comes off and separates itself from the handlebars. Now, same process with this bolt, and this bolt has the other side, and we're just gonna take it right off. All right, so now we're at the point where we just lift this up and out. Trying to do this with one hand is a challenge. Okay, there we go. And second bar's out. Okay, so here's a really bad comparison of the stock bars versus the clip-ons. So the clip-ons, the reason I got them is because of the adjustability that you have and how easy it is to be able to just move things around, and the extra added length on the handlebars would be nice because these stock bars are not long enough to have the whole stock instrument cluster and everything on there. with an extra brake. So yeah, and then besides that, comfortability, these are not very comfortable to ride on. So hopefully with these I can find a more comfortable riding position and have more adjustability, easier adjustability. For the reinstallation, just gonna go ahead and slap this on there. I'm gonna tighten this down. I'm gonna angle it about like that. I don't really know exactly how it's gonna be yet. I'm gonna, you know, adjust it as I go, because it's really simple to adjust. You just loosen these two and then you can turn it any way you want. But yeah, for now we're gonna start with it at an angle like that. You gotta go ahead and tighten this down. Slide the clutch in. Okay, so something that I didn't film, but definitely needs to be known, is that there is a little knob at the bottom of this cluster, and basically you're gonna need to drill a hole into the bar, or you can do that, or you can just, you know, cut off that little nub right there. But I left it on there because it helps keep this thing secure enough so that it's not, you know, moving completely back and forth whenever you press buttons. I made the hole a little bit too big, so as you can see it's a little bit loose, but still something that needs to be done. And then, I mean, honestly, if you want to readjust it and change it, I'm sure you could drill tiny little holes in different places to make this more suited for you. And this thing's, it's got the same thing on this side. Let me see if I can see that. Yeah, if you see that little nub right there. So it's, again, it needed to be another hole drilled into the other side. So my phone died, and I honestly just want to get out and get going, so I didn't really videotape the rest of this process, but it's literally the same thing, taking it off just in reverse. And some of the problems that I ran into, of course, the holes in both of these clip-ons, both sides. And then the second one was, let me turn on my flashlight, was this bracket right here that holds the clutch cable in, and two other cables in. With these clip-ons installed, it's impossible for it to be mounted where it originally was. And I mean, like, it's more like in the way of your tack, but besides that, I mean, there really wasn't many issues. I had to angle the levers a little bit lower so that I could have full range of motion with the new bars installed. And then putting the grips back on, I recommend spraying some lighter fluid onto the handlebar and then putting it on there. It sort of gets rid of that lube, the WD-40 that's on there. So yeah, besides that, that's pretty much how to install the clip-ons.